Hey guys, Pro1701 here, and today we are going to be ranking Doctor Who Season 7 from the classic Doctor Who series. Now, this is an important series in Doctor Who for several reasons. One, it's the first season of the third Doctor, played by John Pertwee. It is also the first season of Doctor Who in color, and it's the first season of Doctor Who in the wonderful, wonderful decade that was the 70s, because 70s Doctor Who is the greatest Doctor Who. Um, and there are only four stories this season. Some people would argue this is John Pertwee's greatest season. Some people might say a different season. But that mainly boils down to some people tend to like all four stories here. Some people only tend to like two or three of them. I personally love three of them. Not too keen on the other one. And we're going to start there in fourth place with the Ambassadors of Death. I I don't really care for this one. I think it's too long. I think it's boring. I think it's predictable. These not the humans in the astronaut suits? No. I hadn't already figured this out 2 episodes ago. It's not bad. I know Jess is currently reacting to this one on Seska Says, and as she's been posting her videos about it, I've been kind of watching those. So I've been kind of rewatching the episodes through that, blissfully edited down versions of them. And it's not quite as bad. I think part of this just the length. This did not need to be 7 parts. I think it would have worked better at like 5 parts, maybe 4. I don't know. 4 might have been not enough, but 5 parts for sure. I don't get into this one. I don't engage with it. I don't get interested in it. It just bores me. Next on the list, it's really hard to place 2 and 3. They're almost a tie because I really like 2 and 3 on my list here. Number 3, I'll put Doctor Who and the Silurians. I really enjoyed this one. Like Ambassadors of Death, Doctor Who and the Silurians they both have some coloring issues. Because they both had to be recolored. I mean, most of y'all watching, I'm sure, know all about, Third Doctor episodes. A lot of them not coming from their original masters. Most of those are gone, so they're kind of a patchwork of different ways that they've been recovered. And Ambassadors especially, the color in most episodes looks kind of bad. But in Doctor Who and the Silurians, it still doesn't look super great. I mean, it's fine, but not super great. I do like this story. I like it being 7 parts. It fills them out really well. The guest characters have a chance to really grow, like the guy who runs the facility, who just wants everybody gone. I really like him. You understand his motivations. Plus, I like the actor who plays him. I swear he's the same guy who plays Niter in Genesis. I really do like him as an actor. There's somebody else who had a really good one. My mind's just blanked on it. But a lot of the guest actors here get a little more fleshed out than, say, what we see in the modern series when it doesn't have that kind of runtime to really flesh them out. I like these Silurians because they're fleshed out pretty well. You understand their motivations, why they're doing what they're doing. And just like how there's infighting between the humans, between what say this person wants to do, what the brigadier wants to do, what the guy who runs the facility wants to do. The doctor that's basically just trying to gain knowledge. The doctor who's working with the Silurians to try to gain knowledge. He has his motivations. There's all this infighting going on. It's the same way with the Silurians. The Silurians aren't all on the same page about what they want to do. So seeing the infighting between them makes it definitely a much more real story that I enjoy watching. And neither side is necessarily painted as a good guy or a bad guy. It's kind of a big gray area. And the doctor's having to kind of work within all this and try to mediate through all of this. And what really sells it to me is that ending speech right at the end when the doctor is talking to Liz. That very last scene is really wonderfully done. Great acting on John's part. And it really sells the episode. It does really, really well. Doctor Who and the Silurians is everything that Warriors of the Deep and Orphan 55 wish they were. Because their endings don't work at all. They do not stick their endings at all. They fail utterly. Doctor Who and the Silurians lands its lands its ending perfectly. It's wonderful. Its message gets across really, really clear without just being forced on you. I really love the way they do this here. And I do think this is the best Silurian episode ever, bar none. Moving up to number 2 on the list is Spearhead from Space. I really like Spearhead from Space. This episode had a lot it had to do. It had to be a good post-regeneration story. It had to introduce a new Doctor. It had to introduce color, because this is the first episode of Doctor Who in color. Or the first story, I should say, and episode in color. It had to introduce a new villain, and it does a great job. I like the Autons. The Autons, to me, have never had a bad story in Doctor Who. Partially just because they've not been used a lot. They're very seldom used. They have like 2 stories in Classic Who and 2 stories in Modern Who. And all of those stories have been good. So the Autons are pretty high up on my villains list, because since they're used so sparingly, their stories all tend to be really, really good. They're great here, great villains. We have a new companion this story had to introduce, and I like Liz Shaw a lot. I know she only does season 7, but I like her. I like the kind of brainy companion that can keep up with the Doctor to an extent. I'm also very fond of Zoe with the second Doctor because of this. And Liz is great. Caroline John does a great job playing her. I really, really enjoy her. Yeah, and plus this one just looks beautiful. Since it is filmed completely on film, it's the only Classic Who story that can truly be upgraded to true HD, and that's wonderful. I own the special edition DVD. I don't own the Blu-ray. I'm waiting for the season 7 box set to come out. But I have seen clips on like YouTube and stuff of the Blu-ray edition of it, and it looks beautiful. Really, really nice. And I am so happy that there is at least one story in Classic Who that can have that level of just how good it looks. And I kind of wish more Doctor Who stories from back then had only been done on film, so we'd have more of them now. Like that. Moving up to number 1 is Inferno. I love Inferno. Inferno is my favorite Pertwee story. It's one of my favorite Doctor Who stories. It's one of my top 10, top 15 favorite Doctor Who stories of all time. It's phenomenal. I think it's really good. It's one of the Doctor Who stories I have the earliest memories of seeing, because I've been a Doctor Who fan as long as I have living memory. I grew up with this show. I had an uncle who watched it, so he got me hooked on it at a really young age. And my earliest memories of Doctor Who are from The Ark in Space and Inferno. These are the 2 stories that I remember the earliest seeing. And they were the first 2 I bought on DVD as soon as I had the opportunities to get them. I have the original release of Inferno. I don't have the special edition because I didn't realize just how much it had been cleaned up for the special edition. So I still have the original release. Inferno is 7 parts, but it fills them out wonderfully. It never feels padded, but at the same time it never lulls and just plods along. There's no point in the 7 episodes where it just feels like it lulls. Matter of fact, the last time I watched the story, I was only going to watch like the first 2 or 3 episodes, and I was going to take a break and come back and finish it later. I ended up just watching the whole thing. It was so good that I'd finish one episode, I'd just go straight into the next episode. I watched all 7 episodes. It's just so engaging. And there's so much going on in this story. It's one of the reasons why it fills out its 7 episode runtime, is there's so many different things going on. He has the thing with the oil rig he's dealing with and possibly destroying the Earth. He has the creatures running around. He has the parallel universe. He has all these different things going on, but they all gel so well together and form a cohesive story. It is Doctor Who writing done right. It is Doctor Who at its best. Inferno really is essential Doctor Who viewing, and is top tier Doctor Who writing, acting, production, directing. Everything just really comes together on this story. I absolutely love Inferno and recommend it to anyone who is a Doctor Who fan. So that is my list. What do you think? How would you rank season 7? Do you think season 7 is Pertwee's best season? Second best? Where does season 7 fall on your ranking of his era? And how do you rank the stories this season, and what do you think of my ranking? Comment down below. I always enjoy interacting with you guys and getting feedback from you guys. Other things to do: click the like button, click the subscribe button, click the bell for notifications. This is actually like my 4th attempt at doing this video. I don't know why I'm having so much trouble doing this video. I had a blooper, and then I completely filmed it just to find out the camera didn't record it, which really made me unhappy. And then I had another blooper. I don't know, just post the bloopers. And then hopefully this attempt, which I hope the thing's recording. But it's been a fun ride trying to do this video. Anyway, most importantly, stay safe out there, and thank you for watching.